Okay, so your objective is to look at simple interest. So I would pause the video and copy down this first example. So Sophie deposits £450 into her bank account, paying 1.5% simple interest, which is our focus today, per year. How much will she have in her account after 4 years? So they've told us the original. They've told us the percentage, 1.5%, and they've said 4 years. Okay, so in the bank account, imagine she's got £450, and that's her 100%. And then we're going to add on a 1.5%, so that is 1.5%. But she does it for 4 years, so we're going to add another 1.5%, add another 1.5%, and add another 1.5%. So we've got 100%, which is our £450, add 1.5%, add 1.5%, add 1.5%, because it's 4 years. Okay, so we're going to have to show that. So remember our original amount, we start with 100%. And then we've got to add on 1.5. But we've got to do that 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got 100%, add 1.5%, that's the first year, add 1.5% is the second year, add 1.5% is the third year, and add 1.5% is the fourth year. So in total, you can use a calculator, that's absolutely fine. 100 add 1.5, add 1.5, add 1.5, add 1.5 is 106%. Is 106%. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. We know that we're going to have 106% after those 4 years. So we can do our normal steps, find our multiplier. So 106% divided by 100 is equal to 1.06. You can still use your calculator, that's fine. And then remember, we use original times the multiplier to get our new amounts. We do 450 times our multiplier, so £450 times 1.06, £477. Obviously that is the £450 we started with, and we've added on the interest to get £477. This question says how much will she have in her account. So we know she's going to have the original amount and the interest, so this is correct. Sometimes it will just ask you just for the interest, so we would subtract the original amount if we needed to. So I would pause the video to write down example 2. We're going to do 3 examples altogether. So example 2, Lucy deposits £4,000 into her bank account. If the bank pays 3.5% simple interest per month, how much money will she have after 5 months? So we're going to have 100%, like we drew a picture before. We had 100%, but we're going to add on 3.5%. We've got another 3.5% for the second month. Got another 3.5% for the third month, another 3.5% for the fourth month, and another 3.5% for the fifth month. So we're going to start by doing 100%, add 3.5%, add 3.5%, add 3.5%, add 3.5%, add 3.5%, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Okay, so you can use your calculator to work this one out. 100 add 3.5, 3.5, 117.5. So we've got 117.5%. Now our normal step, find the multiplier. So 117.5 divided by 100 gives us 1.175, which is our multiplier. Okay, says she started with £4,000, so we just do £4,000 times our multiplier. So £4,000 times 1.175, and we get 4,700. Okay, so she started with 4,000 and she's now got an extra 700, so we know that 700 was the amount of interest, but that is our answer. She will have 4,700. So you can always write a little sentence, it's always going to help you with your marks. Lucy will have £4,700 after 5 months. Okay, so I would pause the video again and write down this third and final example. Okay, so Oscar deposits £1,000 into his bank account. If the bank pays 4% simple interest per year, how much will he have in his account after 5 years? So I'm not going to draw the boxes this time. We've got we start with 100%. That's what our original percentage is, and we've got 4% for 5 years. So we've got 4%, add 4%, add 4%. Third year, add 4%, that's the 4th year, add 4%, that's the 5th year. Okay, so 4 add 4 add 4 add 4 add 4 is 20, 100 add the 20, so that is 120%. Okay, now always our step is to find the multiplier, so 120% divided by 100 is 1.2, is 1.20, but we don't need the 0 after it. Okay. We started with £1,000, so we're going to do £1,000 times our multiplier. So £1,000 times our multiplier, 1.2, is 1,200. So you can see, if we started with £1,000, she's now got £1,200. She has earned £200 in interest. So you could, oh, sorry, not she, Oscar, he. So you can write Oscar will have £1,200 in his account after 5 years.